You'll die alone in a nursing home, old man. And when you do, we'll sell this house before your body's even cold. My daughter, Brenda, stood at the head of my dining table, her wine glass shaking in her hand, her face completely twisted with rage. It was Thanksgiving. 23 people sat frozen. My brother Angus and his wife Fiona, cousins I'd hosted for 40 years of holidays, and Brenda's own husband and children. The silence in the room, my own home in Burlington, Ontario, was absolutely deafening. That's when the doorbell rang. I smiled, a small, tight, satisfied feeling spreading in my chest. "That'll be my attorney," I said, my voice calm, almost conversational. "Right on schedule." Brenda's face went white. She was an accountant. She understood what a lawyer meant. "What?" she whispered. "Let me back up," I said, turning away from her and taking a breath. "I suppose I owe you all an explanation. My name is Gordon Hiltz. I'm 71 years old. For 35 years, I worked as a civil engineer on Ontario highway projects. I'm a methodical man. I like precision. I like things to be built on solid foundations. I live in the family home, a 3,800 square foot bungalow. Joanne and I bought it when we moved here from Cape Breton in 1978. The house is paid off. It's worth about $1.8 million now. That's just paper equity, but it's what Brenda was seeing. Joanne, my wife, died 5 years ago. It was early onset dementia. We watched her fade away slowly for 3 years. I mention this because those years taught me a lot about vulnerability and about holding on to your dignity. Brenda is my only child, 43 years old. She's a corporate accountant at a mid-sized firm in Oakville, married to Troy Kotchuk. They live in Milton. Troy is a commercial real estate broker. He talks big, but the market's been brutal. They've got a heavy mortgage on their $950,000 home. After Joanne passed, I noticed a change in Brenda. Her competitive streak, which had always been there, sharpened into something cold. She became obsessed with the house, with my assets, with the potential inheritance. I didn't want to believe it, but I'm an engineer. When I see structural cracks, I have to investigate. The first real warning sign came last Christmas. Brenda made a comment at dinner, casual on the surface. "Dad, you rattling around in this big house alone seems so wasteful." It wasn't the words that bothered me. It was the tone, cold, calculating. A couple of weeks later, my brother Angus visited from Halifax. "You changing your will, Gordy?" he asked me over coffee. "Not really. Why?" "Just, Brenda asked me last month if I knew what you were leaving her. Seemed awfully interested in the house value. Mentioned that 1.8 million number specifically." I felt a chill. I'd spent 35 years building something for my family, and already the vultures were circling. I made my first call to a lawyer, Diane Kowalski, on February 20th. We met. I explained the situation, nothing concrete yet, just a nagging unease. Diane was practical. "Let's update your will properly," she said. "And Gordon, if things escalate, document everything. Dates, times, witnesses. Get an engineer's precision with your personal life." I hoped it wouldn't come to that, but I took her advice. In April, I hired a private investigator named Rajesh Mehta, recommended by Diane. It cost me an $8,000 retainer pulled straight out of my emergency savings. "Just background," I told him. "I need to know if my son-in-law, Troy Kotchuk, is who he says he is." Rajesh started digging into Troy's credit, professional licensing, and public records. In May, Brenda and Troy came for one of their rare visits. "Dad, this house is too big for you," Brenda started. "Have you thought about one of those new condo buildings by the lake?" "I like it here," I replied. "Your mother and I raised you here." Troy jumped in, his usual big-talk tone slipping into something desperate. "But the property taxes, utilities, upkeep, you're probably spending $28,000 a year just keeping this place running. That's a lot on a pension." Brenda leaned in conspiratorially. "We found this great retirement residence in Dundas. Beautiful place, Dad. They have shuttles, activities." "I'm 71, not 91.